Hey guys, it's Ashley, your scrapping nerd, and I'm back with day 5 of Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. And today's sketch is by Jennifer at Kay's Mom on YouTube, and her links will be down below. And so, of course, I'm doing a wedding photo. I'm so close to getting that album finished. Oh. So I have the Scrapaholics Starfish, and then I'm using P13's C'est La Vie papers and ephemera. This one I'm going to cut one of the little hoopties out and use these cut aparts. And so I'm going to start with this really busy background, and in Jen's sketch there's like 2 sides, and then the middle seems to be ripped, distressed. And so I'm going to use this page as the back for the 2 sides. And I really liked that seahorse. And so I wanted to make sure that that side was the width of the seahorse. And so he's up in the corner. And then on the other side, I really kind of liked this ship's wheel with the floral. And so I just wanted 2 focal points on each of my strips on either side. And so I'm going to take a old 12 by 12 piece of paper. This one, I have a stash of papers that I'm not going to use that I keep for this reason. And you can see this one was from 2007, guys, which is crazy. But so I just am going to use that as my guide to make a 12 by 12 to piece it together. And so I'm going to put these 2 pieces down on that scrap paper. And I thought I was going to use this line, this blue line paper, and I was thinking that it needed some pop, like it needed some color. And so my original thought was to use that darker red color and have 2 layers. And you'll see me kind of set that out. And then when I had that red in the middle, it just seemed to make everything pop a lot better. And so I will not be using that stripe in the middle. Plus I wanted to cut I cut one of these whole circles out, and then I cut some of the florals from that page. So that was another reason not to use the stripes. But see here, I thought, okay, I'll put the red between the 2. And then like when you see that right there where it's just the red, it really makes that seahorse pop off the page and all the red in the floral. And so I'm going to keep just that. And I wanted to use on the back, you can see that it's cut aparts. And on the right side there is some larger journaling cut aparts. And so I'm going to actually use those to back my photos. So I'm only going to cut the other side. And so I wanted to measure, first I'm going to ink my edges with chipped sapphire. And I like doing this especially when I'm putting it on another page, trying to line it up, because if it doesn't line up completely, I can ink again and it kind of blends the 2 together. So it's kind of how I cheat, because sometimes I am just not good at making things look straight. And it's kind of a strange thing. It's straight until I glue it down and I don't know what happened. So that's where I cut and saved the larger cut aparts for the photo mats. And so I kind of measured out how big it was and left some room so that I could tear the edges of the red paper here. And I'm always afraid that when I tear, it's going to be really wonky. And because I only used strips on either side, I needed to make sure that I really just made as straight of a line as possible to make sure you didn't see that scrap paper behind. And so it worked out, but I didn't think it was as torn looking. So I used my distresser here and just distressed the edges. And I think in the sketch, it looks distressed on all sides, but I only did the 2 going down the center. And so, and I'm also not doing the 4 photos. Jen did a beautiful sketch, but I just didn't have 4x4 photos for the wedding album. And like I said, I'm really making a push this year to finish the wedding album. And of course, this is just the professional photos wedding album, not like all the shenanigans surrounding it. So I think I'll be like 90 before that's finished. But this year I'm finishing my wedding album, and I'm going to use this month to really push and get the last few pages done because there's not many. But anyways, here's what I'm using those cut aparts to back the photos, and I had measured to make the picture fit, and so you saw, and I marked with the little pencil, and then I held it up in the light to make sure when I cut, I wasn't cutting something, like my arm off in the photo. But it turned out really good, and it added just 2 different photo mats to the page that still match the collection. And because that red center part is so dark, then I could use these light colors. And I wanted to I didn't think I was going to use any mixed media, but I used the Distress Mica Stain and Winter Frost just to add some color splatters to that red that kind of bring in the blue. And it's funny because you can see in the upper right that big splotch, that big one dropped there. And so now I have to end up covering that with something, which is not a problem for me because, I like to fill the pages with as much as possible. So, but it's just funny that one, like even looking at it right now, it just grabs your attention. It's just such a huge blob. But so I went through the ephemera from the P13, the C'est La Vie ephemera, and I picked out a few pieces that I like. And then these starfish from Scrapaholics that are wood, I originally thought I might paint them blue, but I really liked just the addition of the wood color with this paper. I thought that looked really good. So I left all the starfish in the wood color. And I'm just getting that all kind of laid out. You saw that I cut one of the little wreaths out of that paper, and then I just cut the bottom part off and stuck it here on that cluster. It added a seashell with some coral, and then here I am, I'm like, okay, I got to cover that weird spot up there. And so I'm going to put something up there. I thought I was going to put the cherish up there, but I'll move that and I'll create a whole other embellishment cluster for that corner. And I have this guy up on foam, and there's in the bottom corner, the ship's wheel is up on foam, just to add some spots of dimension to the layout. Here's where I'm like, okay, I'll use that part of that wreath that I cut out and put up here in the corner. And in the end, you can't even see that wreath part because I cut out some florals from the paper as well. But I'm still working on covering up that one little dot from that splatters that was just so big that I think it was distracting. So here's where I cut out some more of those florals, and I'm just going to put it behind this starfish, and it says happy on it. And it was just something from my stash. And then lastly, these are some, I guess flat back pearls from the dollar store. And so I'm just going to, and they're in a dark shiny blue, and I just wanted to add a little something in each of the top corners. And that's the layout, guys. Thank you for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't liked and subscribed, go ahead and do that below. Make sure you check out all the links below for Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. Thanks, everyone. Bye.